I have a little bit of a cold, but I am lucid. I am not sneezing, coughing, spluttering at the camera, fingers crossed, and I am thrilled to be recording episode 15 of the Owl About Yarn podcast. I'm Jenny. I'm Jenster79 on Ravelry and Owl About Yarn everywhere else. I have my cup of tea by my side, just in case my throat goes, because I think it probably will at some point, and I am so pleased to be finally recording another podcast. The last time I talked to you, the end of October, I promised you an episode the following week, and I got sick again, and it lasted. Oh, you wouldn't believe, I was a mobile plague pit. My friends at Knitting were talking about hanging a bell around my neck, I think, behind my back. I was just painting a red cross on my door, you know. The whole kit and caboodle. Anyway, I'm back. Hooray! I'm feeling so much better. Thank you everybody who sent me nice comments and get well wishes and things through Ravelry, Instagram, email, everywhere. It's so nice that people care and take the time to leave a little comment. It's really nice. It cheers you up when you're feeling miserable and grotty and full of cold and muzzy in the head, and it's just been horrible. I've just been so tired, do you know, even the couple of days in between each cold, because I think I've probably had about 15 by now. The couple of days in between each cold where there's no, you're not coughing and you're not congested, but you just feel so tired because you're trying to catch up with yourself. Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed. Cross all your fingers as well. Or toes if you're knitting for Christmas. It's all done now. So I can get healthy and I can enjoy Christmas and not be miserable over everybody. So hopefully December will be smilier than November, because there were very few smiles coming from me in November. But anyway, I imagine I've probably got quite a lot to say this week. I'm sort of doing this on the hop. I've got some notes just so that I remember some of the more important things that I wanted to say to you. Otherwise I'd be kicking myself afterwards. But I apologise if it's a little bit rambly again. But that's kind of my style. It's kind of how I do it. I don't like editing the podcast too much. I don't have the best editing software for a start, so it'd be very jumpy and not pleasant to look at. It would look even more unprofessional. So I think on the whole it's probably just best to leave it as it is. So, it's the 1st of December already. How did that happen? I'm totally in denial. My kids haven't even got advent calendars yet. I'm going out this afternoon to buy them because December has totally crept up on me. It's scary. The plans for Christmas are going pretty well. I think most of the Christmas shopping and the orders that we've sent to Father Christmas are on track. I've got a little bit of Christmas knitting to do, which I'll talk about later. Well, I probably won't talk very much about it, but I'll allude to it later. And we will be putting our decorations up soon, because as soon as December strikes, it's fair game for decorations, so they've got to go up. We all love decorating for Christmas in our house. We're not quite on the sort of second week in October sort of decorating, but we do like to get the decorations up early in December, and then they stay up until 12th night in early January, and that's when it all comes down. And our house, I'll take photos this year. I take photos every year of the decorations, but seeing as I'm podcasting, maybe I'll even give you a little tour this year, because if I go as mad as I did last year, it does look like the Christmas fairy vomited on our house. Fairy lights. We love fairy lights. We love tinsel. We get a bit of tinselitis going on. We love it. It's so cheery as well. When it's so dark and miserable and grey and rainy outside, as it has been for some time in Wales, it's just so nice and bright and cheerful to have all these lights going on. And I think when you're somebody who suffers with a seasonal affective disorder or a depression like me, and you need light, you know, and so all these fairy lights and the bright colours and everything, it just really lifts your spirits. It's yeah. So that'll be happening this week, and I really hope that I'll be able to record another podcast before Christmas and share all that with you, because it's I kind of feel like I'm reaching out to friends now, and you know, you want to share things with your friends, don't you? So it's yeah. I'm going off topic and I haven't even started. How can I go off topic before I've even started? So today's episode includes segments. I'm going to talk about the knit along. I'm going to talk about my one work in progress, because everything flew off the needles this last couple of days. My finished objects. There will be a special insert about stash, and any other business, and that'll be it. So let's crack on. The knit along was fantastic. I was so beyond thrilled with the amount of people who took part. I expected maybe 1 or 2 people to take us up on the offer, just because it's a fantastic pattern that Sarah designed, but my group is only new and little on Ravelry, and I'm not there as often as I'd like to, so there's not as much chat as I'd like and as much interaction going on. You know, that's something that I'd like to build on through next year. So because of that, and because my business is still quite little, I didn't expect a huge take up, and I kind of felt a little bit bad for Sarah when she said would I like to join her in a knit along. But we did get, what was it, something like 40 or 15 finished objects, which for me, that's massive, that's brilliant, and thank you all so much for taking the time to knit that, and so many with my yarn as well. It was lovely to see, and just seeing how they look all knit up, that was really lovely. So thank you all very much for that. We had 2 prizes, and I announced them on Ravelry, but as I had promised you a special episode, I'm so sorry, I didn't announce them anywhere else, I don't think. So the first prize was a gift voucher which Sarah donated for her shop, and that was won by Molly's Makes. So congratulations. What did you pick? Because this is all a month ago now, so I'm sure you must have used it by now. What did you get? Come and let us know on Ravelry. I'd love to see what you chose. And then the other prize for people who let me start that again. People who knitted the shawl using my yarn were eligible to be entered for this prize, and Gisela from Portugal won that. So that was really lovely, and I was thrilled to send that out to you. Hi! And yeah, so that was lovely. We had that giveaway, and we had the prizes, and everybody was happy. And I've had requests for another knit along for next year, so let's get Christmas out of the way, and then we'll think about that, because I can't really focus on anything else. Well, the last month I've had no brain power at all. In computing terms, it's like my brain has been running like Windows 3.1, rather than, you know, whatever the latest thing that's good and fast is. I have very slow processing speeds in my brain at the moment. So it's gradually coming back up to scratch, but it's going to take all my brain power to get ready for Christmas and try and catch up with the shop and everything. So give me until the new year, and hopefully I'll be rested up then, and I'll be able to crack on and think up something new that we can all do together and have fun with. It might have to be some sort of selfish knit along, you know, knitting for yourself sort of thing, because I think quite often we're all so tired after Christmas that we don't want to do anything involved in the new year. We just want something gentle and easy and involving very little thought. Just relaxing, no pressure. So maybe there'll be some sort of no pressure knit along going on. or minimal pressure, because if it's a knit along there's a deadline, there's going to be some pressure, but you get where I'm coming from. So moving on to the next segment, works in progress. I only have one work in progress at the moment, and that's my sock yarn blanket, which of course is never ending work in progress really. I have added one row since I last talked to you. So here is the Dicky Doo, as Dawn calls it. Hi Dawn. And I've done this top row on my sock yarn blanket. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares. Yeah. So I'm doing 10 squares to a row. That's as wide as it's going to get, because this one is a sampler blanket and it's going to be a display item. So I plan to put it in a big clip frame and take it to shows as a display. So that is coming along. I can't remember, I did work out how tall it needed to be. I think it was going to be 12 or 15 squares high, so I'm not quite halfway really if it's going to be more than 12. So I'll need to put some work in that in the spring. Maybe that'll be some relaxing TV knitting in the evenings or something. So as I say, that's my only work in progress. Now if I'd talked to you yesterday morning I would have had 2 more, but I did actually get them finished. So moving straight into finished items, I have finished my Hitafude cardigan. It's been so long since I talked to you. I think last time, it's blocking over there, that's why I'm looking over there, but the last time I talked to you I think it was I'd probably knitted halfway through the sleeves. I think I'd only done about 8 pattern repeats and the sleeves alone were 14. I finished it yesterday evening and blocked it because, as you might remember, I'm a member of a Ravelry group called the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup, and this was a project for that, and I needed to earn my points for Gryffindor. So I needed to hand it in before I went to bed last night, before the end of November. So I finished it, I blocked it, and then took pictures and submitted it. So I've got my points for Gryffindor, yay! And now I'm just waiting for it to dry. And because the way that you pin it out with the sleeves over the top, you kind of pin it out like a big shawl. Well, you'll see a picture. I'll put a picture up now. No, there you go. There it is. You pin it out like a big shawl, and then you pin the sleeves over the top. So of course that's a triple layer of fabric, and it's taking a little bit longer to dry than if it was just the one single layer. So it was knitted in my hand spun fingering weight yarn. It was spun from Sarah's Texture Crafts fibre, and I had 4 braids of boysenberry colourway. 2 braids were merino and 2 braids were merino silk blend. So what I did was I spun all 4 braids and then I applied together one merino with one merino and silk. So hopefully it should be, as well as having that lovely lustre from the silk and the sheen and the drape and everything, it should be reasonably tough, I would have thought, with the silk content in it. But I'm really pleased with the look of it so far. I'm looking forward to showing it to you next time. Hopefully I'll wear it for the next podcast and I'll be able to show it off. So it's bigger than I thought it would be. I've been cursing it for the last week or more, because I've been knitting the bottom part of the skirt and it comes right up round and you can sort of wrap it around or it ruffles at the front. And I've no idea how many stitches there were for the last few days on each row. I have no idea. I was too scared to count. I just know that it was taking me about 25 minutes a row, and that's if I really put my head down and plugged into it and didn't look up. So, and didn't get interrupted by Erin, and yeah. So I can understand why now that I see how long the rows were, like physically long, because it's quite huge. So I have these big blocking mats. Well, you'd have seen them. and the blocking mats are probably about 18 inches across, maybe even 2 feet. I'll have to measure them. But yeah, so as you saw in the picture, it fills the blocking mats, which is it's massive. I'm also looking forward to, because I forgot before I shoved it in the water, because I literally got it off the needles, went straight and soaked it to block it. I'm looking forward to seeing how many yards I used. So I'll have to update you on that next time as well, if I remember. But that'll all be on my Ravelry page once I've figured it out. I always keep all my notes like that on the project pages. So I'm really pleased with that. There's a slight stripe to it, which I quite like from the way it was spun and the fibre, you know. I think that it's going to be really pretty. It's going to be warm to wear as well. I was quite surprised, given that it's a lace cardigan and it's only fingering weight. While I was working with it, I was getting boiling hot this last few days. So unless that's the fever from all the colds and everything that I've had, I think it's going to be quite cosy to wear, which I was quite surprised about, because I thought I was going to have to wait until the summer to be wearing it, you know, summer evenings and that. But I think I might be able to, it might be an indoor in the winter cardigan, you know. So that's the main finished item that I'm thrilled about and looking forward to showing you a few more glamorous pictures of next time, or possibly even me wearing it, as I said. The other thing I finished are a pair of socks. I used, did I show you the yarn I bought from brityarn.co.uk last time? West Yorkshire Spinners, Signature 4-ply. I bought the Christmas colourways that they've been advertising, or festive colourways, or whatever you want to call them, Holly Berry and Cherry Drop, and then I knitted some Hermione's Everyday socks with, so this is the Holly Berry, and then I did the contrast heels, toes and cuff in the Cherry Drop. Finished these last night as well. Here's the other one, but I couldn't find my second sock blocker this morning, so I decided, yeah, it's done. But that's, you know, as ever, I love the pattern. I used 2mm needle. I used my Higher Sharps for the first time, which I got from Sarah, who's Lil Angel SG2 on Instagram. So and I really liked them. So that was really good, and I think that actually the cord on that is probably big enough for me to knit 2 at a time if I get brave and try that next year. So I'll have to think about that. But yeah, they were really nice to use. I do enjoy using metal needles. I like that the stitches all slide off really easily. So yeah, though for me, the yarn. What can I say about that? I like the yarn. I do have a little bit of an issue with wool when it's a little bit scratchy. I seem to be very sensitive to even very slightly itchy wool. Maybe I just need, you know, baby merinos. And that's all. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these through the wash. It's a washable yarn, I understand. I'm going to put these through the wash, and hopefully with a wash and some fabric conditioner they'll soften up a little bit and be a bit more comfortable for me to wear, because I think I can feel that they would irritate my feet a little bit if I wore them right now. Yeah, so I like the pattern. The self-patterning. The only thing I was a teeny tiny bit disappointed with, and this is just me, personal preference, I like really bright colours, I like vivid colours, and I felt that these were a little bit muted. I think obviously colours vary, you know, we see colours on a computer and they're a little bit, monitors vary with the portrayal of colours. I think I imagined it was going to be a little bit more vibrant, so it's a bit more muted than I would like. I think that's probably a fairly good representation of the colours, and I didn't notice that it's almost like a salmon pink in the middle, and that's a little bit incongruous to me. I don't think that that necessarily goes very well in the festive colourway, but I do like them, and so long as they soften up a bit, I will be wearing them a lot. If they don't soften up a bit, I'll still be wearing them a lot, but I will be putting them over the top of another pair of socks, because that's how I manage when I have socks that are a little bit itchy. So yeah, so that's my other knitted finished object. I have one spinning finished object to show you, and this is my own, where's the colour going to be? It's not bright outside, so I don't know why it's coming up brighter than it is. It's not that bright. It's pale. It's a more saturated colour. Anyway, this is my own hand-dyed merino, and the colourway is Seaweed in the Aegean, and I believe there's still some in the shop. I had 98 grams and a finished, you know, there was a little bit left on the bobbin afterwards, because I did this as a 2-ply, and there are approximately 339 yards. So what's that going to be, a sort of sport weight, roughly, if it goes by weight and everything. But yeah, I was quite pleased with that, and I do like the subtle barber poling because it's a tonal fibre with the different greens in it. I enjoyed that it was, like I say, it was barber poling, but all almost the same range of colours. So that's going to be going up in the shop next time I do an update. And it's really, really soft and squishy. I really like this merino. I think I will definitely be ordering more of this to dye. So, you see, I could have this next to my skin. I think I've got some merino nylon. I bought some merino nylon yarn now as a base to try out. I think I might have to steal a skein and knit myself some socks in that and see whether it's all wool and I'm just a delicate little flower, or whether my wool is softer, the yarn bases that I get. So that's the only spinning that I've done this month, and I'm desperate to do more. I've got a big pile in my office of fibre to spin, but I need to do Christmas presents first and get them out of the way, and then I can get on to my selfish crafting. So, moving on, we're finished with the yarny objects. I've been doing some sewing, and I showed these bags on Instagram. One of them I've posted off to a friend of mine, and she likes it, so yay! I did actually buy the fabric with her in mind, because she loves ice cream, and I thought it was perfect. So I made her a bigger bag, but there was enough fabric to make a couple more. So this is a notions pouch, so for scale that's my hand, and that's very slightly boxed, you know, the corners are very slightly squared out so that it's a teeny tiny little wedge, and that's zipped, and then they're all lined with the same fabric, which was actually one of my husband's shirts. It was a shirt he'd never worn, and he was having a clear out, and not this job he's in now, and he's been in this job for years, but the job before, he used to wear shirts and ties to work every day, and so he had a lot of different shirts and ties, and he had coloured shirts and ties because he enjoyed wearing things that were a little bit more fun than just a plain white shirt, you know. So he had all these different coloured shirts, and his mum, who she passed away 4 years ago, but his mum kept buying him more shirts, so he was getting piles of shirts still in the cellophane wrapping and just never wearing them. So he had a clear out because he wears casual clothes to work now, and he was going to get rid of these shirts that hadn't even been touched. And so I thought, well, you know, there's a lot of decent fabric in a man's shirt. So yeah, it was this lovely wine colour, and I thought, well, that goes really nicely with the ice cream. I'll have that. So that's gone into my upcycling pile. So yeah, these are little wedge bags, and I've got two that are roughly the same size. I think this one's just a teeny tiny bit bigger. And the thing that I love about this one, with it being lined with an upcycled unworn shirt, is that I was able to utilise, I don't know if you can see, hang on, can you see in there at all? I was able to utilise the breast pocket on the shirt. So that's a little internal pocket in there now. And I was quite pleased about that. I thought that was quite cool. But they should be big enough for a small project, these ones. I've got my leftover wool. I've got quite a lot left over because I had 2 big balls of this West Yorkshire Spinners wool. So I've got my leftover wool from that, and they fit in there with some room to spare. So I think you'd definitely fit a sock project or maybe a single skein shawl project in there. So I've got those 3 in this fabric, and then I did some slightly more wintry, Christmassy ones as drawstrings. Now the wedge bags I've been on Instagram, I haven't shown anybody these ones yet. So that's one, and it's got that inside, and that has a nice drawstring. And for scale, that's about the same sort of volume, I think, by the time you've taken into account the drawstring, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I've got that one, which is owls, obviously, lots of owls. And then I've got this one, which is wintry, Christmassy owls, and that's lined with woolly hats. And then the ribbon has mittens on it. I love this ribbon. And then a sort of girly Christmas one. I really liked that fabric when I saw it, and I thought, yeah, girly Christmas, pink and green instead of red and green. And that's got pink fabric inside and a nice green ribbon. And then finally I did a stripy one, which is a teeny tiny bit longer, just because the amount of fabric I had left made it a teeny tiny bit longer. So I've got the hats, the Christmassy owls, and the wintry. It's kind of like snowflakes, isn't it? But different. And then that's lined again with the hat fabric, and has the mitten ribbon on there for the drawstring. I think I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to put them in the shop. I'm going to try it out. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I've never sold anything that I've sewn before, but I've had good feedback from people that I've made bags for and gifted them to, so I'm going to give it a go. And after all, the way I'm looking at it is, I think I'm happy now with the things I've sewn. I think that they're good. I think I'd be happy to buy them, which is important to me. I don't like throwing just anything in the shop, you know, it's important to me that they're good quality. Especially buying online, you know, you don't want to buy something online and then be disappointed because it turns up and doesn't look that great. You know, it looks better in the picture than it does in real life. You know, I really try hard to show exactly what it looks like so you know exactly what you're getting as far as I possibly can. Plus, if I sell more bags, obviously that means I get to buy more stock and have a better selection when I do shows next year, which I'll talk about in a minute, getting on to that. So finally, I have 3 finished items which aren't anything to do with anything really. Do you remember I showed you all those baubles I had a few months ago? Alison remembered, Alison in Weston, hi, because I put a picture of something that I made on Instagram and she actually remembered. I was amazed. I made some bauble wreaths. So here, which way around is it? Here's the first one. Whoops. There we are. There's the first one. And I've made 3. Because I just wanted rid... Oh, I'm in the middle there. Hello. I wanted rid of all these baubles. Well, not rid of them, but I wanted to actually use them. And not have them lying about and taking up room and being in boxes, and then they all fell off the shelves and they were bouncing all over the office, and I thought, right, enough is enough, let's just use them. And so I saw this tutorial on YouTube of how to make a bauble wreath using a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger like you get from a dry cleaners, and just threading them on and then decorating them with some ribbon and that afterwards, and I decided to give it a go. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is a little bit smaller because I didn't have quite so many baubles left, but it also has baubles on it that I covered last year. This one's going to be for us. The other 2 are going to be gifts. So I did some crocheted bauble covers last year, or the year before possibly even. They've been hanging around for a little while. And that's that one. So it's got lots of uncovered ones, and then it's got some covered ones as well, and there's some more around the back. And then I went a little bit overboard with the ribbon. I might take a bit of the ribbon off. I was like, oh, gold, oh, silver, oh, Merry Christmas ribbon. Let's do that. So the baubles are now all used. Well, I did find one that had fallen into the wardrobe. So I was cursing because I think one of these bauble wreaths used, how many did I work out? It was like 60 baubles or something on a, no, more than that. Lots of baubles. Yeah, so these boxes, they were just taking over my wardrobe in my office, because I've got this big sliding doors covering the wardrobe, which is where I keep my stock, and because it's the whole end of the room and it's quite a deep cupboard, and I'd piled all of these boxes of baubles up onto a shelf on the top, and they all just fell down and they would bounce. I felt like I was in a Christmas ball pit with all these baubles. It was just ridiculous. But they're used now. They're going to be gifted or hung up in here, and it's just going to be lovely. And that is all of my crafting, at least all that I can remember right now, that I've done in the last month. There's not actually that much for a whole month. I'd usually have more, but just being sick has really thrown me for a burden. Yeah. I'd imagine that I'll be a little bit more productive this next couple of months now, and especially early next year I'm going to have to be very productive for the shop if I manage to get a stall at one of the yarn festivals that I've applied for. So I talked about last time how I was applying to have a stall at Wonderwool Wales and the Bristol Wool Fair. I did send my applications off in the end. I sorted out some pictures of my products, and I sent... Oh, it was painful though, because it's like writing a job application for a job that you really want. I think I said that last time. I'm not very good at saying, hey, look at what I've done, it's amazing, it's fantastic, I'm such a wonderful person, you should have me there. So I found that very awkward, writing the spiel that you have to write about why they should pick me to exhibit. So I'm hoping that I did alright with that, but I'm not going to find out probably until the new year, I think. Applications closed at the end of November for both Wonderwool and the Bristol Wool Fair, and my applications were in before the end of November, so fingers crossed they like what they saw, and I'll get some good news early in the new year. So, but I'm sort of working on the supposition that I'll get to go to at least one of them, which is where I'm working on my sewing. So like today I've got 10 bags I think cut out ready to sew up. Well, I've got to do some ironing first because I've got to iron the interfacing onto them and that. But yeah, they're ready to go, so that's going to be a job that I do later today. Although I won't get through all 10 today because I'm still quite slow. I'd like to take my time, and I can't rattle through yet. But then I won't be starting to think about dyeing yarn and fibre and that for the shows until much later, so I'll have plenty of time to think about that once I hear back if I get into either of them. If I don't get into either of them, I'll probably look at other festivals, see where else I can apply. I'm not sure which ones will have applications open early next year. There might be a couple of knitting retreats that do one-day vendor markets, or maybe some less well-known festivals. I don't know. It's something that I'll look at if I don't get into these two, but I wanted to give these a go first, and then I'll think about my options afterwards if that doesn't work out. But fingers crossed anyway. I'm asking you to cross your fingers for everything for me at the moment, but yeah, so just cross everything and it'll be fine. But I just wanted to say a quick thank you to Rockabella Crafts. I'm not sure if you watch the podcast, I can't remember, I lose track of all the names, so I'm really sorry. But if you do watch, thank you for mentioning me as somebody that you'd like to see at Bristol Wool Fair. I noticed on their Ravelry group that she'd mentioned that she'd like to see me there, so hopefully that would that might sway their opinion a little bit. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And then I think all that's left to talk about is any other business, and I don't have an awful lot to talk about. I wanted to say hello to Dawn from the Wolf Farms podcast. Hi. Thank you for checking out my podcast. Thank you for watching. I've watched yours every week for, blimey, well, what, it's about 4 years now, I think, I've been watching. So I'm sure it was before Erin was born that I started watching you. So yeah, an awfully long time ago. And it's a teeny tiny little bit thrilling that you've decided to come and watch mine. And Erin was so excited when she heard that you were going to be watching. And, oh, I should just say, if you see her, any of you, not Dawn, because you're a little bit far away, so you're probably not going to see Erin in the near future. If any of you see Erin, this podcast never happened. She's absolutely obsessed about it. Almost every day she's been saying to me, even when I had no voice, Mummy, are we doing a podcast today? Are we podcasting today? Can we do a podcast today? No, Erin, no, we're not podcasting today. Why? Well, I'm not feeling very well today. I don't have a voice. That's okay. I'll do the talking and you can sit and show things to the camera. I'll do all the talking. So we can't tell her that I've recorded without her. Okay. There is a small segment with Erin coming up, which I'm going to put at the end, which is my stash segment. I'll tell you about that just before I get there. The other hello I wanted to say was big hello to Sarah from Sarah's Texture Crafts. Again, I think I say hello to you every time, so hi. And thank you for mentioning me on your last podcast. I sent her a little gift just to say thank you for inviting me to take part in the knit along with her. And she was very sweet and showed the things on her podcast and invited people to come and have a look at my shop and see what I'm about. You didn't need to do that. I don't expect that. When I send gifts to people, I don't expect them to feel like they've got to show them off and give me publicity is lovely. Thank you. But that's not why I do it. I really was very appreciative that you chose me to co-host the knit along. That meant a lot, and it was a good bit of exposure for my business, and it all helps when you're trying to grow your own business, doesn't it, when you get word of mouth recommendations and mentions and things going on. So yeah, I really appreciated that. And I think that's about it. The only other thing I wanted to mention was, of course, I had said that I was going to be doing a special giveaway to celebrate a year of Owl About Yarn. That didn't happen when it should have done because of my illness. So, like many other things, I'm being very Scarlet O'Hara, and I'll think about it tomorrow. But no, I'm putting that back to the new year. I don't want to just throw something together. I want to do something really nice and do it properly. So I'm going to take my time and think about it and do a really nice giveaway in the new year. So in the dark days of January, when the lights have all come down and everything's a bit grim, perhaps it'll cheer people up a bit if I'm doing a bit of a giveaway then. And finally, I am going to be sharing a special mini episode which I recorded with Erin at the beginning of November, I think it was. Just a few days after I talked to you last, I received my fibre share parcel from Petra, who is Undercover Otter, and it was just fantastic. She spoilt me rotten, but I won't talk any more about that because that's all going to be in the special episode, which Erin helped with. And it really boosted her love of podcasting. We did a practice run, and then we did that one, and I watched it back yesterday just to remember what I'd said and what had gone on in it, and I sometimes come across as being a little bit strict and grumpy with her because she keeps talking over me and I keep going da 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 da. But I'm just trying to teach her podcasting etiquette and not talking over other people. So, yeah, there we are. I'm teaching her manners. So, anyway, thank you very much for joining me and spending some time with me. I hope that you don't get the series of colds that I've had. I hope that you have a lovely December, that you're not getting stressed out about Christmas, and that you can enjoy the run-up, and hopefully I will talk to you before Christmas, but I'm not going to promise that because I keep jinxing myself with it every time. And I will hand you over now to me and Erin. We're going to go back in time and see all the wonderful goodies that I received from Petra. So until next time, thank you ever so much for joining me. Bye! Hi, welcome to the special edition where I am opening my fibre share parcel. Excuse me, I'm still full of cold, but I really wanted to open it, and I said to Petra that I would open it on the podcast, so you get all lovely, bunged up and full of cold me. You also get Erin, who is beautiful and not full of cold. Are you? No, and you can talk, can't you? And you're going to talk nice and loudly? She wanted to help me unwrap the parcel. She does generally help me when I get parcels through the post, and she's been eyeing this one up all day. So we've been waiting. We've been to the hairdressers, which is why Erin has a lovely sticker on her jumper to say that she was very good at the hairdressers.
Who's watching us today?
Oh, lots of people will be watching us today.
Can you tell me?
Oh, well, let me think. Zoe will be watching again. And Marie. And Maria. And who else? Jack might be watching us. And Uncle Mark might be watching. So do you want to wave at Uncle Mark? Because I found out my brother-in-law watches my podcasts, which means, Mark, I will get you knitting at some point soon. Anyway, let's get into this, otherwise it'll be... No, our Uncle Mark.
And to live.
Yeah.
But it's only some of your friends, not...
No, Uncle Mark's been watching, he told me. Because he said he saw you. Anyway, let's do this, otherwise we'll be here all day. So here's my parcel. And I've got my scissors. I wanted to do it completely on the camera. So...
I'm just going to get my magic.
No, you stay there. You had already showed that. Erin wanted to show you all the same things again that she showed you the other day. And I'm having to restrain her and explain that we show new things each time. Yes, we're going to show them together. Excuse the crinkling. Oh, look. Oh, look what Mummy's got.
You can take that one and I'll show the other one.
Well, it's my parcel. I'll pass them to you, okay? Look at those. Does it not say Etra in there? No, it says Undercover Otter. And that's Petra who sent them to us. Well, give me a minute. So these, Rolags and Merino, Tussar Silk and Angelina. Oh, colourway, Bubblegum Crisis. How cool is that? Oh. Yeah, you have that? And this one has a tag inside. Hang on a minute, will you? She's very impatient. She wants to see what all of these are. She's going to... Oh, I've got a little letter. I'm not going to read it because it's my letter. Oh, it's a custom blend, this one. Contains merino foam mohair and some hints of Tussar. Oh, thank you, Petra. Thank you for saying that you like the podcast. It's like Christmas.
Mommy, what's Petra?
The lady who sent us all of these things. Look, Wensleydale locks. Do you know what we could use those for?
Yeah.
We could make you... I've got needle felting things, right? And we could make you a Merida doll, and that could be her hair. Oh, well, there's a challenge. That's what we need to use that for. Look, more Rolags. No, we're showing them. Look, orange and turquoise. You've got two, yeah. Well, you show them to the camera. Well done.
Mummy, both talking.
Sorry, they're called Rolags. Go on.
Okay. But Mummy got some wool.
Wool, yeah, that'll do. Very good. Look! Oh. You show that one. Show that one.
And we got some more wool.
That way. Say Wensleydale locks.
Wensleydale locks.
Good girl. I'll get you trained properly, yeah. And what else have we got in here? What do you think's in this one? Should we see?
Yeah, I can open this side.
Careful. Ooh. Oh, it's a photo frame. Look, and she's made it. It's a hanging up one. I can put that on the wall in my office. You have to hold it over this side so that they can see. Look, turn it round, turn it round, turn it round.
And
That's right.
she's got a fender hanging up in her office.
Stitch markers. Oh, they're cute. Look at those.
Oh,
Get a kiss because they're so cute. It's the wrong way round, sweetheart. That's
Got
right.
Some stitch markers.
Some stitch markers.
We've got some stitch markers.
Jack's giggling, I'm not going to say why. And we've got, look, elephants, your favourite animal, on the tape. What's in this bag? This is the last bag now. Project bag and a needle holder. Oh, look at them. I've never had a needle holder before. That's awesome.
Oh, look.
That is for putting needles in when I make socks. And I've just ordered some sock yarn, so I'll be knitting socks next month. Hold it this way. Not quite so close, look, like that. There you go. You can see it now. Project bag. And that's the wrong way around. A needle nest with feathers on. Do you think they're owl feathers? No.
Bird.
Let's have a look. Bird feathers. Well, the owls are birds as well. Oh, that's nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
And it's all lined as well.
Yeah.
And a nice handle.
Mummy, that's a lot of things.
I've got a lot of things.
And we can show them the owl that you made.
In a minute. First of all, we have to say thank you to Petra. So can you help me to do that?
Yeah.
Go on, you say it first.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you, Petra. This is a fantastic package. We have been very, very lucky with our fibre share package. So we have, let's just round it up, because it's all a bit confused. We have a project bag, a needle nest.
I'm also...
Go on then. Wensleydale locks. Oh, Rolags. Thank you. More Rolags with sparkle in. Gotta love some sparkle. Yarn, which I haven't been able to read about because somebody's fibre, blended fibre.
I'm also saving chocolate.
Oh, it's Corriedale. The yarn is Corriedale.
May I open it?
So they look at oh, alright. You're going to take the fibre out and show them. Okay, as long as I can put it in afterwards. That's okay, that's fine. Yeah, oh, isn't that beautiful? Feels lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, feels all long and smooth. It feels like hair.
It feels a little bit like hair, yeah. Well, it's sheep hair. Wool, isn't it?
It smells like broccoli.
There you go, Petra. Did you know that your fibre smells like broccoli? It really doesn't. Oh, this is all just amazing. I've really been spoilt. Oh. And you're really enjoying having all of this to pass around. Have we got it all now? So shall we say thank you again? Because you can never say thank you too many times.
Thank you.
Thank you, Petra. That is a wonderful, wonderful parcel. I'm going to go and put it all in a lovely ensemble and take a picture of it now. I'm talking. Thank you. And I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to put it on Instagram. And this podcast would have been 5 minutes if my little co-host hadn't been so chatty. Are you a chatterbox?
No. Mr. Chatterbox.
Mr. Chatterbox.
I'm not Mr. Chatterbox.
Are you little Miss Chatterbox?
Yeah.
And we have one final thing to show you.
Can
I've got
I
a finished... In a minute. I have a finished object, which she is very keen on. And we're going to show it to you because it's going in the post probably tomorrow. And otherwise I wouldn't have had a chance to show it. And he's quite cute. And you can show him and say what his name is, because you gave him a name. Well, they won't be able to see him like that. Look, camera's over here. There.
His name is Owly.
His name is Owly. Can you hold him round his middle like that? And then he'll be still and they'll be able to see. And he's a little owl puff. And I would tell you the name of the pattern, but it's on my tablet and we're using the tablet to record. So it's called Owl Puff, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's by Jennie somebody or other, and I can't remember. But just look up Owl Puff if you're interested. And this has used just a tiny amount of fingering yarn, and then a couple of buttons for the eyes and some felt. I'm thinking my co-host might not be joining me every time because I'm getting upstaged. The camera is that little dot there, look. So if you want it to see it, you've got to hold it where the little dot can see it. Like that.
I won't do it.
There we are. Right, it's time for us to say goodbye now, because Daddy will need your help making the tea. So can you wave goodbye and say see you soon?
Goodbye.
She enjoyed podcasting very much the other day. Thank you all for your kind comments and well wishes that you sent to her. And she wants to podcast every day. I can see that by the time she's 5, she's going to be asking if she can have her own account. So we're going to have to keep an eye on her.
Mummy.
Anyway, Erin, I'm saying bye-bye. I will be back early next week with my special podcast about the giveaway and with details about who has won the knit-along prizes from our Quiche or Let Cow. So I will see you soon. Bye-bye.